Clay Purview. Watch Speedway live or on demand. And SRV Road Freight Services. Excellence in motion. Bring you Speedway Nation with Jared Ash and Ryan Harris. Right across the SEN network.
Yes, welcome back to Speedway Nation live around the SEN network. Brought to you thanks to the wonderful team at SRV Road Freight Services. Excellence in motion. SRV team still kicking goals around the country at the moment with Lockie McHugh behind the wheel. We'll talk about that and plenty more on this show. There's plenty to look at in the west of the country. There's plenty to look at coming up in the southern part of the country and the east as well. There's sprint car racing, there's sedan racing. It's a wonderful time in the sport. Ryan Harris, nice of you to join us.
Well, it's nice to spend Valentine's Day with you, Jared.
Cute. It's very cute. Our wives will be very pleased about this, Ryan.
Where else would you want to be on Valentine's night, mate?
It's, of course, a very happy Valentine's Day to all the Speedway wives and girlfriends and very understanding partners out there that let our drivers and fans and everyone enjoy this sport and spend so many hours on it week in, week out during the Speedway season. Fresh off Mr. Sprintcar Nationals, the Barbagallo Mr. Sprintcar Nationals. I tell you what, they've done it once again. The Perth Motorplex just continue to deliver top quality racing week in, week out. And what a feature race Saturday night was, Ryan.
It was cool. What a race. You know, it was, we talked about 28th December over there, that race. This one was arguably as good, not quite as good, to be fair. There's a big
very close.
Controversial. Ryan Harris, controversial straight away. But exceptional race. Really, really cool. You know, you really didn't know which way it was going to play out. Like, Jock was away, and then Lockie come back, and Lockie charged to the field, and Lockie got the lead, and then Jock got back to the lead, and then Jock nearly threw it away on the last lap, and it was like he sort of shut up shop to close the door on a slide job and sort of ended up in no man's land, and it was like, wow.
Just buzzed, and it was really so for those that don't know what we're talking about, the Barbagallo Australian Mr. Sprintcar Nationals, it was $30,000 to win on Saturday night over at the Perth Motorplex, and the big feature race, Jock Goodyear came from the front row. Lockie McHugh came from 10th position to make his way to the front. So that was a very impressive drive to get up there. They swapped positions right for the lead. And, well, Jock crossed the line just 0.078, I think the end timing difference was. It wasn't very much in it at all. And it's his second $30,000 payday of the season. That's not bad.
Yeah, nice prize money. And it just goes to show those two are the class acts in Australia. No question about it. You're not going to convince me any other way. Jock and Lockie, top two in the country. I think I've said in early episodes, I'd be very surprised that we see much more of Jock Goodyear in Australia. Lockie's obviously going to go over and do a big American campaign as well, sort of April through to whenever he comes home, September-ish, I would imagine. I'm tipping Jock Goodyear will do the same because the kids are unbelievable. The best part about it is they're generally out of the car and they were so excited and happy for each other because
each other fist pumps.
It was such a cool race.
Yep.
Like two mates having a ball at the local go-karts, mucking around at a Bucks Day. Like that, seriously, they got so much love for each other as mates, and it's just so refreshing to see that competition. They never feed a wheel to each other. They never touch either. They never rough each other up, and they just race hard, and they are brilliant.
And the amazing thing about that, Ryan Harris, is people will see the little banter on social media if they're friends with either Darren Goodyear, who's Jock's dad, or Sharon McHugh, who's Lockie's mum, and they're feeding each other a bit of banter, and it's all just good, light-hearted fun. They love racing against each other. They love just hanging stuff, and they're the two class drivers in the country at the moment. They're both in their early to mid-20s, like they're young kids, and they have a massive future ahead in this sport in sprint car racing. Whether it is just in Australia, I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be in the States for both of them. They're the next James McFadden for us, realistically.
Yeah, they're going to win a few more races, I reckon. And there's going to be a fair few national championships between the both of them. I'm tipping over the next 10 years is my guess. Will it be 9-1 or 5-5? But who knows? There's more people sort of emerging through on the scenes, and you know, Ryan Newton, Jock Goodyear. Jai Corbett is who I'm trying to talk about. It was good to see Jai have a good run over there, to be honest. You know, Ryan was plagued with that engine problems on the Wednesday night, and another massive talent as well. But it's just exciting. These guys are like, you know, Jock and Lockie will be at the top of the game. They are now, but they're going to have people snapping at their heels.
Those couple of Queensland young guns, of course. Nice to see Cody Morosky back in the seat. Jordan Charge, another quick young Victorian. the young stars that are coming through over in Western Australia at the moment, they're getting some decent rides. It's nice to see them get a little catapult to the front and go, okay, here's some good equipment. Here, go and race with these guys. So the future of our sport for the first time in a long time in the sprint car division, looking pretty healthy. Same in super sedans, same in speed cars. We're seeing some young guys get some real rides. Like, it's not just 40, 50-year-old blokes that have been doing it for 30 years driving around the same cars anymore. We're actually seeing some young talent come through, which is really exciting. We look back at night one, the Friday night of the Mr. Sprintcar Nationals, separate event, which is a little confusing for people to wrap their head around sometimes, but $7,777 to the winner. Nice, because the 77s for the Mr. Sprint Car race, for the Barbagallo race. Jamie Veal, just dominant. There's nothing else to say about it. He was a street ahead of anyone else.
Yeah, he was impressive.
The probably the big talking point from that was Jock Goodyer, who went quick time and then was disqualified after qualifying due to adding fuel to the car before going to scales. Now, this caused a ton of controversy on social media. Everyone was an expert. And everyone
there
was
was
saying,
a lot of keyboard warriors out and about, wasn't there?
holy smokes. Everyone, he's been cheating all year. He's finally been caught. Seriously. So to put some context behind this, so the cars qualified. They all pulled up onto the infield.
Yep.
Now, normally, everywhere else around the country, as soon as you finish your qualifying, there's a set of scales in the infield. You go across, you check the weight on the car. You make sure it's not too light, and then you're free to go. So they finished qualifying. They were all pulled up on the infield. It was about 20 minutes until the first heat race. There's no scales on the infield for a normal Perth Motorplex show. They've got a wonderful facility. You push off the racetrack out into the pit area. There's a weighbridge they go across, check the cars, and they go back to their pit area. All it was the teams, probably, this is my assumption. You can shoot me if you wish to, but my assumption is they went, hey, we've got 20 minutes till a heat race. Yeah, no, we've finished qualifying. We're all good. Let's put some fuel in the car. We'll do the changes that we want to do, and then we'll get the car ready to go. Because it was a short turnaround. There was 2 races between the end of qualifying and when they were actually due back out on the racetrack. That's all it would have been. And a team has spotted them, rightfully so, adding fuel to the car, adding extra weight. Tell you what, if you drain the tank, they still would have been well and truly overweight. just an FYI, I've had the back.
Yeah.
But rules are rules.
Yep.
Jock copped it on the chin. They posted on social media, hey, our stuff up, sorry, completely our fault, no dramas. The Pelicans going, disqualifying from the event, take all these events. You've got no idea.
Yeah.
But, so that's a little bit of context. So the weighbridge is in a different location to most racetracks. Catches it out, happens in supercars, happens in all sorts of motorsport around the world. You're just caught out by something that's a little bit of a different relegation of the rules. Not the end of the world. He obviously came back and won on the second night, so impressive stuff from him. The drama between Maiolo and Kendrick, though, on that first night, didn't that get some backs up? The locals racing hard over there. An interesting move by Kendrick. It was, to be fair, probably wasn't on that slide job, but when you're racing, those guys are racing each other 30 times a year over there. You're going to rub someone the wrong way. You're going to put someone's nose out of joint. It's just going to happen.
It was good theatre.
It was.
There was a bit of mongrel. There was a bit of, backwards and forwards in the pits, if you will. And those clips went pretty crazy over social media. And no harm, no foul.
Well, yeah.
Play on.
You certainly, the whole don't enter another competitor's pit bay, you don't condone any of all that sort of stuff. But the Maiolo family, they wandered over and just made their thoughts known. There was nothing untoward apart from that. They made their thoughts known, and the Kendrick family made their thoughts known back. And we all play on, and we all raced each other again the next night. So that's just adds a little bit more fuel to the rivalry over there. That's and right. They continue to just do those things over there. The WA teams race each other so often, and they've got such inbuilt rivalries amongst the family. There's going to be passion on both sides. So we'll just leave it there. We'll leave that one go straight through the keeper. It was good to see, though, a bit of theatre about that. Of course, you mentioned earlier on Jai Corbett. It was nice to see him have a strong one. We saw how strong he was down south. King's Challenge, he came from a B main to finish second at Borderline Speedway over that January period. He's fresh off a win at Maryborough Speedway. Unfortunately, didn't get to cross the line for the checkers. The race was declared with a rollover on the last lap, but impressive to see him get his first feature race win, and I'm sure
a few more coming.
I'm sure a few more coming for young Jai. He's been there or thereabouts. So
he's
nice.
Fast. He is ridiculously fast. He's quality.
Probably takes a different approach to it to most drivers. It's not the be-all and end-all for Jai. He's there. He's going to concentrate. They've got a good team behind him. Former national champion Andrew Shirley in their corner. They're not doing anything silly. They're going to lots of big races, and Jai goes there and goes, right, I'm just going to get my head on. I'm going to do this for this day, and I'm going to concentrate on this. And then he goes away and doesn't think about Speedway for a few days. Then comes back. It's not the be-all and end-all for him.
Well,
it's an interesting way to look at it.
It is. And they run a very successful business with the Corbett's Group and everything they do there, building a brand new head office and up near Gympie there. And we've spoken to Jai, and aspirations to go to America, no desire to at this particular junction.
He's just happy doing what he's doing.
Yeah, that's right. Went over and did some crewing and jumped into a couple of laps August or last year, but hasn't huge desire at the minute to do that. Happy and content with what he's doing here. So, yeah, good big future for Jai Corbett, I'm sure. So
this weekend at the moment, as we're talking, we're about to push off the midweek mayhem, but we'll have a look forwards for this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, 2-night event for the Krikke Boys Shootout, the annual Krikke Boys Shootout at the Motorplex again this year, and where it probably will remain for the foreseeable future. $9,500 to win this weekend for the number 95.
Yeah,
cool event. It's great to see the East Coast cars come over and be part of it. Like it used to always be a destination race for some of the East Coasters to come across. It's nice that the Motorplex has tagged this event back to back with a big event, and we've got some East Coasters there. And of course,
it's big a few times there where it sort of was pretty close to the week after the Grand Final World Series Sprint Cars.
Correct.
A few times there, but you're right. Yeah,
Well, it's a good way of I guess tagging those events back to back and giving this event some prestige as well. Of course,
Festival of Sprint Cars, as it's been affectionately tagged.
Festival. It really is a festival. Like tip of the hat, very cool. The setup in the pit area, it's really good. So last year, Lockie McHugh won the Krikke Boys Shootout after finishing second to Jock Goodger at the Australian Championship. This year, McHugh finished second to Jock Goodger at the Australian Nationals, so that'll be interesting to see whether McHugh can go back to back.
Yeah, well, it will be. It's probably nearly a race in two. Callum's been pretty hot. Matt Eagles impressed me in the 97 car over there.
Yeah.
So he was on the podium on Friday night, ran well on the Wednesday night. So Matt Eagles, a chance. If it's proper slick to the fence and it's not completely top dominant, I think Matt Eagle is a big possibility along with Jamie Veal. But yeah, you would think the $9,500 winner's check will go either the way of the A1 or the T22.
Big call early.
But yeah, it's just a cool
as
race.
well. Callum Williamson, like you mentioned, he's been there or thereabouts lots of times. Obviously, getting one of the wins during WA versus USA Speed Week, but just hasn't converted that last little bit. It's just that last little bit of polish on the raw speeds there. But there's always just one little thing, like a heat race won't go quite right, or they lost brakes the other night and had a little upside-down moment. It's just little things that are just keeping that team from just being that last little bit to match it with those front 2 or 3 cars.
And to be fair, like Mikey's done a heck of a job with the racetrack. It's been super hot over there. And look at the difference with qualifying, though. It's really caught some people out because the track's been, it's taken a little bit to run it in. So the qualifying sort of thrown a few cats among the pigeons, if you will.
Yeah.
And then you're chasing your tail. If you don't qualify well, you're really, really elbows up to get a job done. So, yeah, whoever hits the ground running will put themselves in good stead for a nice payday again this weekend. And I reckon, to be fair, I think the crowd was probably down a fraction of what I expected for last weekend. But I think this weekend it'll be back to 7,000-8,000 sort of big crowd at the Motorplex for the Krikke Boys.
I think you're probably not too far off. The hot weather probably wouldn't have helped crowd-wise. A lot of people.
So.
It was 41 degrees or something over at the Perth Motorplex. It's a bit nasty to go and sit out in the sun.
For the sea breeze to come in the afternoon.
It was pretty nice. It's always cooler down at Kwinana. They keep telling me that. But
this is SEN's Speedway Nation for Clay Per-View. Watch Speedway live or on demand. And SRV Road Freight Services. Excellence in motion.